Hey all, welcome back. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded any videos, but it's been difficult. Been really tired lately, been putting in a lot of overtime at work. And I'm sure you guys are kind of tired too, getting ready for Christmas and all. I'm actually pre-recording the intro here. It's December 22nd, and the reason for it is because I actually got a little bit to do to prep for this upload. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice change of pace. No politics in this. So it's all about having a good time, and it's going to be a little weird, but I think it's going to be okay. Um, this episode was actually inspired by a movie that I just truly loved as a young guy, and that was The Last Boy Scout. I think it came out in like 91 or something like that. It was Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. It was Bruce Willis was a ex Secret Service cop who got, or ex Secret Service agent who got kicked off the force, and Damon Wayans was a former professional football player who was kicked out of the league for being addicted to opiates. And it was like almost like a buddy cop movie, and they were just basically trying to bring down a gambling ring, in professional football. Great classic, like late 80s, early 90s movie. Great stuff. But anyway, portion of the movie that actually inspired this episode is there's a scene in the movie where Bruce Willis and his wife in the movie are arguing. And the argument turns into an argument over their daughter. And the wife actually grabs a picture that the daughter had drawn in school. And when they bring it over and she shows it to Bruce Willis, and it's a picture, and on it, it's a picture of a demonic Santa Claus. And over the top, she actually named it. She actually called it Satan Claus. And for years, just me and my buddies just loved this movie. And whenever we would go out, we would always talk about just, the different movies, different scenes, and we'd just quote things just constantly out of nowhere. Just whatever would fit the situation, we would just do it. So one night, I'm sure we were probably out at a bar someplace and just having a good old time. And so, of course, the movie comes up and the scene comes up, and it just finally hits me. I finally just all flooded into my mind who Satan Claus really is. So from that day forward, I've just had this stupid, twisted little story in my head that I've been dying to get out, and many of my friends have actually heard it, and it's pretty good. It'll make you think about Christmas a little bit and where some things come from. So I want you guys to enjoy it. It's nothing serious. It's really out there, and it's a good combination of folklore, religion, and total fantasy. So enjoy it, and we'll see. Maybe you get a good laugh out of it, and I hope you do. So on that, I'll leave you guys be, and we're gonna cut to the episode here shortly. So enjoy it. Merry Christmas. I love all of you, and Happy New Year. Hi, all. Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping in. Tonight's segment's going to be a little different. We're going to celebrate the Christmas holiday just a tad bit differently tonight. So I do hope everyone's having a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas holiday, and that you're getting all the wonderful gifts that you've asked for from Santa Claus. Speaking of Santa Claus, that's what tonight's episode is about. Tonight we're actually going to uncover his true origins. So keep in mind, have faith, and enjoy tonight's episode. And tonight, we start off with a reading from the Bible. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 16. By the abundance of your trading, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones. So yes, think about those words. And think about the man that we take our children to see every year. and the coincidences, the various likenesses of that individual that so many children hold dear. The similarities. If you must, go back, listen to that reading once again. And think about the man, Santa Claus, who so many cultures and civilizations have placed upon a pedestal every year to celebrate the winter solstice and the birth of Christ. Yet again, think about Santa and where he lives, but yet also who he has as helpers. To give you more reflection, I'm going to read you something from the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was thrown down, that the ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world, he was thrown down to earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Yes, for 2,000 years, Satan the deceiver, for eons, has been prideful, self-absorbed, deceitful. Deceitful, probably the most out of all. Envious. Some of the key and deadliest of the 7 deadly sins. Now, after the great battle in heaven, and Satan and his angels had to walk among men, and seeing the fallibility, the disgusting ways of man, think about that would do to an angel of that stature's pride. Do you think he would really want to walk among us humans? Why? He would do everything he could to get back into God's graces and to rejoin him in heaven. And he tried. You're not going to see this in any Bible or Dead Sea Scroll. But I'm going to provide it to you. So, after he was cast to earth with 1/3 of his angels and was just disgusted by man, he called upon God and asked God, "Oh Lord, please, can I come sit at your table once more?" God himself said, "Why should I allow such a deceitful and heathenistic being in my house?" Satan told him, "I have seen the errors of my ways. I see the beauty in the creations that you have created. I ask for another chance. Please let me redeem myself so that I may come home and sit at your table once again." So God, being the fair and just and forgiving God that he is, says, "My first of firsts, please come, and I will tell you what you must do in order to make penance to sit back at my table and be welcome in my home." Moving forward, when my son is born among men, you, Satan, you must celebrate his birth. And by doing so, you will keep a watchful eye on the young and on the innocent. And for all of those that are faithful, kindly, godly, and keep to the scriptures, you will grant them their Christmas gift. For centuries, he would do this every year. He would take on different names. Saint Nicholas, Santa, Father Time, many names. Some that none of us probably even know. But for years, think about that. All these years, even as you, as a child, would go and sit on a jolly man's lap. He can see you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. And that's why you're supposed to be good for goodness sake. Because what's the song say? Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus. Satan and Santa are one and the same. It is just merely an anagram. You simply rearrange his name and you get both. You see, kids, that boogeyman that's lurking under your bed is all the same. They say that he can see you. He knows when you've been good and he knows when you've been bad, and he's always watching. But he's always tempting too. He is. Let me share something for you from the book of Isaiah. Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 12. How you are fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the dawn. How you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low. The reason for that scripture verse from the book of Isaiah is also a reminder. When Constantine founded the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, under the guise of Christianity, he not only had to appease his normal citizens, which for the most part were pagan, and he himself was the first Christian emperor. So, as what any smart leader would do, he would combine the Christian traditions and the pagan traditions. And moving forward, those traditions stuck. And now what we do is we celebrate the birth of Christ on a pagan holiday. Now think about that also. You have an emperor who claims to be Christian, a follower of Jesus, the Son of God, celebrating the birth of Christ on a pagan holiday, the winter solstice. Who would revel in such a deceitful act? Someone who may go by many names. Satan, Santa, Saint Nicholas. All right, I take Saint Nicholas out of it because he was an actual human being who lived in the Renaissance and who actually became a saint for the good deeds he did in Germany. But it's another name stolen, if you think about it, by Santa. But Now think about the actions of Santa Claus and what he is claimed to do. Every year at the celebration of the birth of our Savior, granting Christmas wishes to all the good boys and girls out there around the world. Think about how many children that are there. A few 100 million? But I'm just, today. How could such a feat be completed? A third of his angels were cast down to earth with him. Yes. The likenesses or the beings that we celebrate as elves are mere fallen angels, Satan's workers. Do you think it's possible that he could build all those toys, fulfill all those wishes by himself? All in one night? He may be a supernatural being, but he is not our creator. He would require help. So, those facts, for real, would turn into legends. The fallen angels being shrunken down into small human size or small humanoid beings that would tinker and create and build all these glorious toys, all for Satan himself to pass out among the children. Not only does Satan hold dominion over these fallen angels, but Satan also is a master of beasts. Think about that. His sleigh, his reindeer that can fly. Only a being of that magnitude could control such things. So yes, Santa Claus, again, who you take your children to, who we were taken to as children, is not some glorious saint who did wonderful things for the poor or children. He, in fact, actually is the fallen angel Lucifer, Satan. And the other reading in Isaiah that I just read, there's a portion in there that talks about the laying the nations low. Well, yes, he has. For these 2,000 years, he has slowly pecked away at our faith and the reasoning behind the celebration of Christmas. You look around you, look behind me. We have a tree, lights. You're dashing through the snow to get those last couple gifts, spending that money. But are you doing it out of giving? Or are you doing it out of faith? Or are you just trying to be Santa Claus for your children? That is the greatest trick that Satan could ever pull off on mankind. Not only going to God and saying, I will do whatever it takes to sit back at your side, and then taking his penance and using it so that mankind would forget about its true meaning. And we have. It's all about the shopping, the lights, the snow. Do any of us really know the true meaning of Christmas anymore? I certainly hope you do. Because Satan Claus is watching. So on that, boys and girls, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope to God that Santa Claus brought you all your Christmas wishes. And I love you. See you in the next episode. Have a good night.